Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to, we got him. We got him. What else can I say? We got him. Bobby Boy, the legend, Robert Berger, Bob Does Sports. We got the interview. I'm so excited to finally be bringing this piece of content to you. It's been a long time coming. Quick PSA before we start. My video didn't record for the first 10 minutes of this interview, so you're gonna hear my audio and you'll see him, which is what you came for anyways. Who cares about my video? He'll be full screen for a little while, and then at 10 minutes my video cuts back in. So just a heads up. But enjoy this interview. Comment down below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's just jump right into it. What's up, Bobby Boy?
How are you, big dog?
Good. How are you? It's a long
Doing
time
all right.
coming, man.
I
Long
know.
time coming. Meeting of the
I know.
minds, Old Bobby Billions, old nine-figure Bob.
Ah, geez, there it is. Yeah,
So
there
I
it
wanted
is.
to start off the interview. I need you to present your last two tax returns. I'd like to know exactly how much money you've made to
Ah,
date this year, please.
oh man, what an all-time blunt. The
Let-
guys, they have ripped me. What an all-time blunder. They're not letting that go anytime soon. And you know what? I said to them, I said, look, if it was one of you that dropped the ball like that, I would never let you hear the end of it.
no.
And every day they razz me. What an all-time fumble.
Well, to be completely honest, man, I don't think it's your fault. Like, who asks in an interview point blank how much money you make? That's a wild thing to ask.
Brutal.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you know what? It was a lesson learned for me to where you don't even need to go don't even just don't even answer the question. Don't even so not only did I mess up just answering the question,
yeah,
but getting the wrong figure,
yeah,
I didn't even know that I had messed that up until
yeah,
you put something out. And then a couple people I was like, oh boy, here we
yeah,
go. So
yeah,
look, I wore that one on the chin. It's a learning lesson to say the least, but
yeah.
yeah, just brutal.
Just speaking into existence, man. The
I
speak. I've said since the beginning, you guys are like, if you want, you could be the bar stool of like golf. You know what I mean? Or like just another. I don't even know if it necessarily needs to be just golf, but like that you guys have like a bar stool ability. You know what I mean? How you brought in Fat Perez, how you kind of have like you have so many different sectors to your thing too. Like it's the YouTube channel. I think is how most of us in the golf space know you, but like you've been slinging it in content forever, and like when I found out you were 29, by the way, blew my mind. I was like, you're only a year older than me. You're like 400 years down the road from me somehow. But I don't know. I like, not that you look old, but I was like, you got to be at least like mid 30s to make me feel a little better about myself. But
I'm an
God,
old soul. Anybody that talks to me, they all think I'm like 45. Plus, the hairline doesn't do me any favors either. So everybody thinks that I'm a lot older. But yeah, man, it's the cast of characters we have. It's pretty amazing the way that it's all kind of came together, and
yeah,
it's a very close knit group. Like we're very very close with one another, and we really do feed off each other. And I just think every piece of the puzzle, you can't take one piece out. You can't have an episode without Joey D. You can't have Bob Does Sports without Fat Perez. Like each person messes very well, and man, we're having so much fun.
yeah, that's sweet. That's good you feel that way, man. Because I feel like, to keep the band together, that needs to be it. You can't have the feeling of like, people being like, oh, well, that's the lead singer and this is just the backup bassist. And like, I feel like watching your videos, it very much gets a sense of exactly what you just said. Like, everyone has their own super unique thing that if you did subtract it, like, the videos just wouldn't be as good. You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah,
you took out one of the three of you, it would miss something for sure.
yeah, and you know what too? It's each person on the team is very selfless. They really are. Perez, Joe, I mean Jed, all those guys. They're very selfless, and I don't think you see everything on camera like that's exactly the way we are off camera. It's not to sound corny, but it's a family, man. We're all very very close with one another. We look out for one another, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon because I couldn't imagine a world without doing it with
Hmm.
them, and it definitely doesn't feel like work, that's for sure. And it's just a testament to the guys, and it's just the crew we have is. I love those guys so much, man. I really do.
Do you feel any type of like responsibility with like built because you've pretty much built Fat Perez and Joey D's careers now by bringing them into this and giving them these platforms, and like you're lucky in the sense that you're right, you guys are all family and you can tell they love and respect you and whatever, but like as your ship grows, like how do you go about, like, do you have any interest in like bringing in more talent to do other things, maybe other programs, other shows? And if so, like, I mean, that's a lot that you're giving people by bringing someone into this now, like it
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it, but to be honest, like right now, like we're so focused and hell bent on what we're doing that
Hmm.
like bringing in whether it be like another show or podcast or something like that. To me, it would just, and I wouldn't rule it out for the future, but it just kind of takes away from what we're doing now, and we do our thing in such a way, and we really are like, especially when it comes to like the jet and everything, like we're obsessed with it. Like
Hmm.
we love doing what we're doing, and
Hmm.
to spend my time doing it, it's something else that we're not like in. I just right now I just want to keep doing what we're doing, with these cast of characters. And I always think like with Fat Perez and Joe, and I've always said it with, I don't know if you remember Jersey Jerry was a guy,
Oh
he's
yeah.
with Barstool
Oh
now.
yeah.
I always felt like if it wasn't me that got him, somebody was gonna find these
Right.
guys. They're too good of characters to not. So I'm just happy that they're on our team.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, I think it's like that's what a lot of people, viewers, don't really see about at least the YouTube game is like that 100% diabolical focus on the craft and what you're doing in the content. That really is what allows people to rise and to escalate themselves and whatever, you know what I mean? Like it being able to devote 100% of yourself and like things do take away from it, you know? Like
Yeah.
the even just the creative energy, the brain power, like I'm sure you feel it and I would assume that like on heavy Bob Does Sports shoot days, you're probably recording less cameos or doing less
Yeah.
interviews because like that on camera version of yourself that you need for the content, even just using that in other avenues, it takes away from the content, you know?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And look, what we're doing, I mean, it's a dream. So it's you can't even call it work
Hmm.
because it's just it's so much fun and it doesn't feel like work. But with that being said, we do work hard. I mean,
Hmm.
like from the time we started the show, we haven't missed a week
Hmm.
of an episode, and it's a very we're driven by it because we
Yeah.
love it so much. But yeah, we do work hard, and there's business side of things that when I first started it that I didn't realize that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis to keep it running. And yeah, it's a lot, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a dream.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the internal stuff, again, that people don't see who just watch the videos is it's like regardless of how many hours and whatever you put in, it's like it's just a creative pursuit is just different, right? Because it's like completely like your on camera moments and your act on like that is your product, and that's what the audience is going to judge you off of, and that's what you're going to be able to work off going forward. And so it's like really, although it never, I agree, it doesn't feel like a job at all. YouTube has been my dream for years and years and
Yeah,
years. It's the furthest thing from a job, but it's also the most intense version of a job because like at no other job are you being judged like every single day on your output and that feeling of like yeah, I put out one bad video and it tanks and then all of a sudden it's like oh the world's ending and you put so much
yeah,
pressure you know what I mean like that
yeah.
YouTube's a beast mentally and you care so much about your product that I mean it shows for you guys but it's a lot on the brain.
Yeah, it's like you put out one video and it doesn't perform well, and you think you're losing it. Like you think
Yeah, your
that's the
touch
end
is
of it. You
gone.
know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
start to scramble, and you get it. You get that feeling. It's just man, it's a grind, but so rewarding. And there's stuff that I've learned, just this year, even doing it with Bob to Sports. And again, more so, if anything, just the behind the scenes stuff that as much as there's a lot coming our way our way right now. It's like I'm learning on the fly too, like I'm picking up all of this stuff, and the whole process for me has been unbelievable.
Hmm. Yeah, it's cool, man. And there's just so many different facets to it too, right? Like so many assets to like it is really fun to do the content stuff and that's what we love. But then there's also, you do learn some of the business side of things and you learn some of the, for you, probably even a little bit of people management and whatever. You got
Yeah,
what, four people directly in the content, and then I'm assuming there's probably one or two people behind the scenes at least, and so you're communicating and you really are running a business. Like it's weird when you just want to be like, I want to make fun YouTube videos, and then all of a sudden it's like, what's happening?
yeah. And for me too, the most rewarding thing of it all is doing it with your best friends.
Hmm.
Is man, it's there's nothing better. And
Yeah.
we have a good thing to where like we can get into each other and hold each other accountable for certain things, and it's like right after that it's on to the next thing. We keep it moving, and
Hmm.
being as close as we all are definitely helps with all of that.
Yeah. Do you have like as like a YouTube nerd, as like a content nerd, like this is just what I love. Do you have like a direct strategy to how you go about placing content, breaking off content? Because like every time you release a video, it feels like there's automatically like 3 to 5 Instagram reels that get put out, and there's stories, and there's this and there's that. Like you guys are very good about, maximizing, a piece of content and whatever. Do you have like a checklist strategy, or is it just kind of as it goes?
Yeah, it's a good question. To be honest, a lot of the credit to that is the Jet,
Hmm.
our editor. He'll tell you he's the worst editor in all of YouTube. He thinks everything that he puts out is trash.
Yeah.
But he is that good.
Hmm.
He's a machine, and everything that he does. There's a reason for everything that he does and everything that he
Hmm.
breaks out. So he puts out an episode and then he has 5 clips ready to go. And he does the same thing for the podcast. And he's just a machine and he's a perfectionist at what he does. So a lot of that's a credit to him. And then,
Hmm.
me and him have a really good thing where we bounce off a lot of ideas to each other. So me and him are constantly every single day in communication about different things. And sometimes I see things one way, he sees it another way, and we enjoy the process of figuring that out. But yeah, he has a science the way he does all of that, and it's pretty amazing to watch him work. And I've learned a lot from him, even just from the technical side of things. So that credit goes to the Jet for sure.
That's cool. Is he your sole editor, like for video?
Yeah, so we have one other editor, the Big Ticket,
Hmm.
who's with us as well. And then we have a guy that will help us, a guy named Jensen, who helps
Hmm.
us with like different thumbnails and stuff like that. So he's kind of he'll delegate
Hmm.
different things and kind of oversees all of it. And between all of them, man, they're machines. And sure, as you know too, it's like the stuff that they do to get the videos out that they do, sometimes 2 videos a week, sometimes
Hmm.
one a week, like that's the grind because we go out onto the golf course. We play golf,
Yeah.
we do our thing. We get back to the Airbnb, our day's done for them, and it's like they're just beginning. You're not only doing
Hmm.
the video, then they got to edit it. So the stuff that they do, I mean, they really make it go round.
That's, I mean, to me, that's the like one of the crazier things is like thinking about them like having someone who's on course all day with you, and then also going back and doing all the edits and the behind the scenes stuff. Like that's literally the job of like 2 people. Like that's, I feel
Yeah.
like people underestimate like how intense that is, you know?
Me and Jet used to, before Jet even had other editors with him when we were just starting, we were trying to make it all work. And we were struggling, man. We were going to different stadiums and
Hmm.
doing like that man on the street type stuff. And it takes a lot out of you to where by the time you're
Yeah.
home from the game, you're exhausted. So I always go to bed early. So I'd be knocked out right when I get back. And, I'd wake up just at all hours of the night and the light in the living room is on, whether he was at my place or in the hotel. And Jet was still going. And he
Yeah.
didn't, when he was the only editor, I mean, he didn't sleep. He didn't, it was unbelievable to watch. It really was. Yeah. And then when you get home, the work's just beginning for them.
Yeah. Talk to me about like expanding the team. Like, do you guys have any like, are you have call outs right now? Or are you guys like thinking of hiring, making it bigger? Do you like the dynamic of like the group you have right now specifically?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's perfect. It meshes well, and
Yeah.
just from a workload, again, now Jet's able to kind of like delegate it, and there's
Hmm.
not as hard as he works. There's not as much pressure as there was before on him, where it was just
Hmm.
nonstop for him, and the guy couldn't even sleep.
Yeah.
Um, which is really good. But something that's big for us, and I don't know if it means bringing on another editor. I don't know if it's giving it to them. We've always wanted to do behind the scenes stuff. Like for me, I love having a camera rolling all the time. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't think I'd ever get sick of it. The guys always bust
Hmm.
my balls because I always have a phone. There's
Yeah.
always some type of
Totally.
camera
Yeah.
running.
You're the content king, man, when it comes to YouTube
I
golf, for
Yeah,
sure.
I never want to miss anything. So maybe having another editor to like do that behind the scenes type stuff.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it's something that we would put out on a different channel. I don't know if we would add it into the videos.
Hmm.
Something that I would definitely talk to Jed about, but
Hmm.
possibly, doors
Yeah.
always open.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. What I want to talk about like what you saw as your like breakthrough moment with Bob Does Sports, like the watershed where you were kind of like I because like for me, I talked to Joey about this when I talked to him, and I talked to FP about this. It was the what was it LA something like the video where you took Joey, you were gonna take him to Torrey Pines, and you
Like
did the little bait and
Links of
switch and
Victoria.
Links to Victoria. That's the one.
Yeah.
That was the first video I really like. I saw the foreplay thing before that, but like I don't know. I feel like I just like it was a long video. I didn't get as connected. Then I saw that video. And like it was that video was a moment for me where I was like, who are these people? And like immediately was like, I need more of this. And he was like binge watching it. I was trying to show my wife. I was like, Ray, you got to check these guys. It's so funny. She's sitting there like, I don't care about golf. I'm not watching this with you. Know what I mean? But it was like it had that just like addictive correlate to it. Like, was it that video or was it a different one for you guys or what? What really felt that kick for you?
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely the foreplay one when Fat Perez came on, Fat
Hmm.
Perez took the channel to a whole nother level. But
Yeah.
as far as like really getting going, because we had been putting out videos for a while and
Yep.
it just wasn't hitting. I mean, we were trying everything. We really were,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we felt it. But then I'm like, I said to Jed about doing the prank to Joe, and that was the one. I remember when we put it out, it started out 1 of 10 on YouTube, and it just
Oh.
stayed there. And then we
Yeah.
see numbers going up that we
Yeah.
hadn't seen, and that really was kind of what got the ball rolling. And I felt
Yeah.
bad doing it to Joe, but at the same time, we had to do it.
That
We
was
had to do it.
amazing. I'm sure he doesn't regret it now, seeing where everything's gone, man.
No, I mean he always looks back and laughs at it. At the time, he wasn't thrilled, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think now he'd be okay with it.
Are you like real in the numbers? Like, do you like the back end of YouTube and the studio analytics and all that? Oh, dude, I'm the biggest nerd with that stuff ever.
Yeah, I love it, man. I can't stop with it.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy it, Nate. Like the whole process and everything. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine I was putting out videos and stuff before any of this, not really knowing what it would lead to, but
Hmm.
I loved it so much that I never really thought about it. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'm very much in on that.
Is it crazy to have a higher per video view average in the last 3 months than Rick Shields? Did you know that?
No, I didn't. That's the first. I guess I'm not as into the numbers as I thought, but
Wow, this is my job, man. I'm a huge nerd
yeah,
with this
that's
stuff.
why.
Isn't that
Nah,
crazy?
I mean, look, that's wild. To me, he's the OG, and I've
I
always
know. He
wanted to
is.
do something with him. He really is, man. He
Yeah.
he he started all of this. He kind of
Hmm.
paved the way for it
Hmm.
all, and yeah, man, that's pretty wild. I hope one day we can film with him, and I know we've been trying to make it work, but that Jim, I tell him all the time, the only thing that I want on my bucket list, I just want to be in Ireland drunk at a pub with him would be a bucket list. I tell him that all the time, so
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah,
we can
yeah.
make it happen.
Yeah, that would be epic. I was doing some digging before and I saw that. I saw you guys right now are averaging between 500,000 to 750,000 views per video, which is insane. But the most
Crazy.
insane part to me is that those are all like in-house videos, meaning like they're all just with you guys. Your collab videos are different. Most people on YouTube have maybe touched those numbers with collab videos, but you guys are doing it without collabs, like literally just your cast of characters, and you're able to pull those kind of numbers. Like, did you realize how insane that is?
Yeah, you know what, Nate? It's wild, man. It really is. And like we love doing the collabs and what we try and do. Like I think there's some people out there that love us doing the collabs. I also think there's some that would prefer it just to be us.
Hmm.
So, we love doing the collabs and it definitely helps, but we try and give a good mix of
Hmm.
of getting a little bit of both so they get, both worlds into it.
Yeah.
And same thing with the podcast. Sometimes we wonder, even with our podcast, do people prefer us just to be us shooting the shit, or do they want somebody in there? So we try and mix it up to kind of hit both sides of it.
I think what's great for you guys is when you collab, when you can bring your value prop with it. Like when your video with Good Good when you're just playing, I'm fairly certain has like 300,000 less views than your cheeseburger challenge with them. And your cheeseburger challenge is uniquely you. It's unique to YouTube. It's what you do different. And so then when you can bring these other people who don't do that kind of stuff into your world, then it's like, the big hit. And I love seeing that because it's like, I talk about it all the time with you guys, but like you have such a unique value prop on YouTube and it's 1000% a huge part of the reason why you're so explosive. And it's just different, man. So being able to highlight that is like, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, and it whenever we do like one of those challenges, whether it be the food drinking challenge, we know going into it that those videos are going to do the best. So like even the good one, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, when we had that cheeseburger one, it was like we knew when we were getting ready to launch that was going to do really well. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you can get the collabs, if you can get those people in there doing those challenges, which is something that we really like to do,
Mm-hmm.
it's usually pretty big.
Hmm. Well, it's just, and so much of YouTube now is like, it feels like, and I've talked about this in videos before, it feels like the norm is like these massive group collaborations, which is like fine, but it's happened so much now that it's almost
Yeah.
starting to get a little stale. And like I talked about the other day, Grant put out a video like I'm going solo. It's a great title thumbnail, but he killed it with that video, and it was just like a solo golf video. And and like every once in a while, you see these creators put these out, and they're almost starting to get that traction back again because it's like I feel like just getting a bunch of people together and playing stroke play is like almost sort of played out now. Now it's like, okay, what can we add to it? And that's why I think your videos, when you add that kind of twist to it of the challenge type stuff, they're killing it. You know what I mean? And I think that's a huge, nice, fresh take in the YouTube golf space.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and we use the fans a lot for that because a lot of times the fans will give us ideas. I mean, we have a video coming out that a fan gave us that's like a great idea. So like you're putting out a video every single week. There's
Hmm.
so many people in the game now that are pumping out videos. So like you really do got to try and get creative of changing it up and not just
Hmm.
having a scramble every time, or like you said, not just collabing and doing stroke play. So like coming up with different things is
Hmm.
huge, and the fans help us a lot with that because we'll put out like something for a video or suggestion, and people will have all these comments and we listen to it. It's like,
Yeah.
you need help from them because they see it, just as well as we do.
And the nice thing about YouTube, man, is you have that direct relationship with your audience too. Like even just from like the analytics in YouTube, right? Like if you have a 10 out of 10 video and it's, something that maybe you've done too many times or whatever, you can really be like, all right, cool, what can I learn from this? And you can take and you can move on. And like that's how you a lot of time can learn from your audience as well. It's just like, like views mean something, you know what I mean? And like engagement in videos means and comments, you can learn from those too. Like it's a cool space to be able to kind of evolve with.
Yeah, man. And by the way, tip of the cap to you too, because you've kind of carved out a niche market with it, which is like reporting on all of it.
Hmm.
And it helps us, man. And it's crazy for us now to put out the videos and then we'll see responses, thoughts from you reporting
Hmm.
on the different golf world. So like it's just it's a crazy, crazy time in golf YouTube, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So the more channels that come up and whatnot, me personally, I think it only helps us. And then guys like you out there reporting on it, just it helps everybody. It's really cool.
Yeah, oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's crazy to come into the space, man. This YouTube golf space is different. Like I had a channel in the fitness world for like 3 years, and in 5 months this channel like exceeded it in like subscribers, monthly viewership, everything, and like comments and in messages and in like everything. The viewership is just so much more passionate than I've ever seen on YouTube and so much more supportive and engaging. Like people watch the videos, like they're so invested. Like it's so cool to see, man. It's
Yeah, and you know what too? You've stuck to it too. Is first off, not many people were doing it. So you kind of
Mhm.
started where not many people were doing that. And then as well, it's like I've seen so many people who will start, doing something. They start a channel, they start a podcast, and they promote it all, and then a month in, they're not getting the results that they want, and you see it start to wean away. Then it's once
Mhm.
every other week, and it's like you keep doing it every single week, and it worked out. So, tip of the cap to you, man.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, the background of my phone for the last like 4 years has just been a screen grab of a notes thing that just says just keep uploading. And because
Yeah,
it's like that's just like been my motto because like YouTube is tough, man. Like it does get you down sometimes because you'll have ups and downs and sometimes it's not in your control. Sometimes there's just periods where there's a little lower viewership or there's a little, people are out doing stuff and whatever, but like it can mentally get to you. But like I've always found it's like when you're at and this is like life too, like when you're at your what feels like a low point, if you just keep going, that's usually when the high highs come. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
after a couple low videos, all of a sudden I'll have this banger that just like reinvigorates you and whatever. But it's also easy because I love it. This is the thing I love doing most in the world is making YouTube videos. So,
And with all the platforms now too, all it really takes sometimes is just one video to really
mhm,
boom to help you get that push. And you have all these platforms that you can put it out, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, to where you just keep firing, play the numbers game and just keep firing away.
mhm,
And you just can't quit on it. But yeah, I've seen a lot of different channels, some that I like, and I
mhm.
hate to see it that then they kind of slow down because they're not getting, what they want. But yeah, you just gotta keep firing.
I think it's unrealistic expectations for some people too. Like I think everyone thinks they can start a YouTube channel and be you guys in like 3 months. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah, yeah.
that's just not the case. Like, you know what I mean? Like it takes years and years and years. And plus, there is I mean, making it on YouTube is no different than making it in Hollywood. It's no different than making it in the music industry. Like there are because not only is it like there's a lot of really good talent out there already, but like there's no barrier to entry. Like anyone can start a YouTube channel, anyone can start making stuff. And like I'm sure you get this all the time, but especially as someone who talks about creators, I probably get 5 or 6 DMs a day that's just like, hey, here's my new YouTube channel. Like, can you promote it for me or whatever? And it's like, Well, I'm like, no, and also like let's see some work. Let's see like
Yeah.
if you do something good, if you do I'll always give them advice. And it's like if you make something unique and different that stands out, YouTube will take care of it. Like YouTube's
Yeah.
recommendation engine is insane. Like I had 0 subscribers and 0 views on this channel. My first video got like 52,000 views just because it was like the right time, right place, right video.
Crazy.
You know? So like YouTube can do it for you.
Yeah. Even the way, like the way that the Jet came to me and the way me and Jet started talking, like rather than like just sending a DM and just saying, "Hey, like I'd love to work with you" or whatever,
Hmm.
he like said, "I'd love to work with you, whatnot." And then he sent me like 3 different clips for the last 5 podcasts that
Yeah.
I had done. So he like fired in the work there, and that's even how we started talking to where he's a dog, man. Like that
Yep.
type of effort, you put that in, and things will go your way eventually.
Yeah, I had a guy when I was at the Good Good Championships fly himself out to Scottsdale from Colorado and work for me for 3 days for free, and then fly himself back, and he paid for his own accommodations and everything. And like
It's
now we're
amazing.
working together. Now I'm
Yeah,
bringing him on all these trips this year. But like, yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, but that's how you do it, man. That's how I got my start too.
100%, and all the power to him, man. That's the way to
Yeah.
go about it.
What is like? Do you guys have a future plan? Do you have some big like grandiose vision, or are you just so like in the trenches to just kind of day by day building naturally?
Yeah, I think about it a lot because sometimes I think like we should know exactly like where we want to be in the
Hmm.
next like 3 to 5 years. But to be honest with you, Nate, for me, it's like with where we're going right now, and if we just keep growing our audience, and if we keep building, different doors are going to open up to where we'll be able to pick, do we want to take this route, do we want to go this route? So like, to answer your question right now, like, no, we just want to keep building what we're building right now. Of course, we have Breezy going on, and
Hmm.
just the channel in general, and we just think we just keep doing what we're doing, different doors will open up, and then we just kind of make our decision and run with it from there.
Are you happy you found this kind of success? Like, I don't want to say later in life because I'm your age. We're not late in life, but you know what I mean? Like, your brain fully develops at 25, and you were past 25 when it really blew up the way it did, you know? And like, I feel like the social media stuff can be so tough mentally to deal with when you're younger, and you see so many of these younger creators coming up. Like, how nice has it been to be a little bit more, figured out in life and have, especially Joey and, FP, they're even older than you. Like, you guys, I feel like have a bit better mindset to be where you are, and handle the growth.
It's a good question, man. And yeah, the answer for sure. I mean, even different things that come our way, we're able to handle it. Just from what I've noticed with the crew is everybody looks at it in a very mature way, and there's a lot of channels out there where it's like they're young guys. Like I'm wildly impressed. Like when I talk to Garrett and
Hmm.
and everything that Garrett has on his plate at the age that he's at, and he's been doing it for a while too,
Hmm.
with that many guys as well. It's commendable what he's able to do because it really it's not easy, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you got to take care of. So yeah, to have the crew that we do, and to be at the age that we're at and seeing some stuff, obviously we have a lot more to learn, and there'll be a lot more that comes our way. But yeah, I just feel like every step of the way we've been able to handle it in a really mature fashion, and it's helped, man. And yeah, we have problems that come up here and there, but like we get on the phone, we
Hmm.
talk it out with each other, and we look at it from a really good way, and then we keep the ball moving and we keep it rolling. So yeah, that's definitely helped because if this happened when I was, 21, 22, I don't think I'd be able to look at it the same way that I do now.
Hmm. Absolutely. Do you have any sides of this like social YouTube, whatever social media game that's been tougher on you? Because like you guys definitely have a very supportive fan base. We already talked about how amazing the YouTube golf fan base is in general, but there's no getting around the fact that I'm sure there's been either like negativity or tough things or mentally like, you know what I mean? Like the downs of YouTube or whatever it is. Like, is there anything that really stood out to you as like you had to kind of learn to work through it?
Yeah, you said, I mean, with our fan base, it's pretty amazing because I see other, fan base stuff, and there is some negativity in them,
Hmm.
and there will be. We're pretty lucky to where like
Yeah.
comments wise and stuff. Yeah, of course you'll take some heat here and there. Of course you'll have some mess ups here and there, but overall our fan base is they're very very supportive, and they're
Hmm.
very positive. And I think even Keegan Bradley, he came on the show, and he was worried, like when we released the episode, he almost didn't want to look at the comments. He didn't want to see what people said. And he
Yeah.
called me and he's like, Robbie's like, everything is so like positive. I was like, yeah, man, like it's a really positive fan base. But I mean, I guess just the business, the day-to-day stuff
Hmm.
was something that was new to me and that I had to learn and that, I've learned to love. But yeah, I guess from like a numbers standpoint and the day-to-day in that sense and how much goes into it would probably be the most challenging thing. But besides that, I mean, to be completely honest with you, I'm so happy doing what I'm doing that, man, even honestly, even if it wasn't a business, I would be doing it. I would be doing it anyway. So yeah,
Hmm.
not too much, but to answer your question, I guess just the day to day, behind the scenes business type of stuff.
It's great when you love it this much because then you just really don't care either. Like I do it because I love it, and like even if like four people were watching, I'd still be doing it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I just love it that much, and so it makes it easier to ignore any kind of whatever. But speaking on the business side, like how I mean, you guys have some big partnerships going now. You got some big brands behind you. Like it's really moving in a really cool direction for you guys. And like, is that how do you manage? Like we said at the beginning, not doing too much though, that it like mentally drains you away from the content.
yeah, and I think the biggest thing too is like I I think fans now know that in order to pay the bills and keep it going, you're going to have sponsorship. So like when you go and you watch videos and it's very sponsor heavy, like they understand that to agree, but at the same time, you can't overwhelm them with that, or that
Hmm.
they'll pick up on it and they won't be
Hmm.
happy. So for that, it's what we're really trying to do is doing it the right way, doing it to the way, no matter what brand we deal with. And I think we're getting better and better at it, is making it so that it's natural and it's
Hmm.
not as sponsor heavy. And of course, you're going to have them, but making it as organic and natural as possible, I think, is so key. And beyond even just YouTube, I mean, even Instagram and whatnot. You go on Instagram, somebody does a paid collab.
Hmm.
Sometimes you tell within the first 5 seconds it's a paid collab and people are out. So it's
Yeah.
like keeping them in, making it
Yeah.
as natural as possible has it's a challenge. It's not an easy thing to do, but if you can really master that to where people are pretty much just watching a normal video, and
Hmm.
again, they'll give you leeway with it as long as you're not just slamming it down their throats. That's a big thing.
Well, you guys, I mean, I've talked about this before too. Your guys' partnerships are great because they're all very natural and on brand. Like you're not out there. I've given this example before with like Fat Perez promoting Fit Tea. You know what I mean? Like if all of a sudden I
Right,
click on a Bob the Sports video and you guys are promoting like a weight loss product, I'd be like,
right.
this is a little out of there. But like the way you integrate like DraftKings or Fireball or Corona, like those are you couldn't be more on brand for you guys, and the people who watch your videos love all the products you're promoting anyway, so it's like a win 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 win, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be very. I think you got to be very selective of who you bring in and what you do, and that's such a main focus for us now. Is if we're going to bring in different sponsors, make sure that it's something that like you said that fits our brand and what we're doing. So I think we've gotten better and better at it. And again, man, like the fans are smart. They see it all. They see everything that you see, to where it's like they'll call you out for it if you're
Hmm.
not doing it the right way. And again, I think now they understand that it's part of it and it's how it goes. But if you could just make it as natural as possible for them, it's huge.
I've seen a lot of comments on your stuff personally about like you should get into acting, you should get into this, that, or the other thing. Do you have any like dream? Because you are undoubtedly one of the most unique characters in terms of like content out there. Like you're very just like a naturally entertaining person. I think you have the ability to act and to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you are
Thank you.
yourself, but you're also like I know you know what you're doing. You know, as a YouTube nerd, I'm like I know you know like your delivery and your timing. Like it's natural, but it's also so smart. And I know you can like you could replicate that in something like a movie. Like, is that something you are interested in?
Yeah, so something I really like doing, I love hosting. I
Okay.
really do. I really enjoy that. We did I don't know if you saw the Tito's Shorties Classic that we
Yep.
did.
Hmm.
Yeah, and for Golf Channel, that was, a little nervous out of the gate, but like
Yep.
midway through, I'm like, man, like I love doing this. Like this is
Hmm.
so much fun, to where, yeah, I would always keep all possibilities open to that. And hosting is something that I love to do. I actually love interviewing people as
Hmm.
well. Doing the Brilliantly Dumb Show podcast, we changed it up a bit, but I used to do interviews all the time, and
Hmm.
I loved doing that, and I love
Hmm.
doing interviews. One of my favorite interviewers is Howard Stern.
Yep.
He's a little raunchy, but the things that he was able to get out of the guests and how
Yeah,
comfortable he would make guests feel, and the way he did it's really an art. He's one of the best interviewers I've ever seen.
for
So
sure.
I love interviewing guests, and I love hosting. So that's on the table. And then acting. I mean, I would give it a run. I
Yeah.
can't promise I'd be great, but I would give it a run.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I think it's the opportunities for you, like growing the channel. They're always going to be there. There's always going to be things you can do, but like I don't know. I always have a curiosity for like people who come up in our world, which is the freedom of the YouTube content world, and then try to go behind the red tape of hurry up and wait, sit in a trailer for 12 hours to work for 5 minutes a day. You know what I mean? Like it's different, and like there's a lot of glory that comes with something like being in a movie or whatever. But like, I also feel like maybe you wouldn't be having as much fun. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I've never tried it or like had
yeah,
anything like that. But yeah, I'm sure it would be a whole different thing for me.
yeah,
I'd be curious to try it. But
for sure.
what's amazing is a lot of these like studios and production companies or whatnot, they see the value of, they have a lot of different Instagram influencers and stuff now that they bring into movies because they
Hmm.
know that they're already coming with a large audience to where
Hmm.
now it's in a world where like it gives an influencer a shot to do something like that because it kind of helps them in a way to get their fan base over to that. So man, if we just keep growing, who knows what's in the cards.
Totally. What happened with Cameo the other day? You had like a like meeting with like their president or something like that. I saw you posting on it. What the heck are you doing over there that gets you a meeting with the president of the company?
They had me on, like, their all hands call where, like, they have everybody from the company and they wanted me to come on, and, I love doing the cameos, and I kinda make, like, a whole bit out of it about the
Yeah.
Cameo Hall of Fame, which, of course, there's no Cameo Hall of Fame, but
Well, you're in it if
yeah.
there is, man.
I know, I keep running with that, but, yeah, they had me on the all hands call, and I thought it would be, like, just, like, a few people, and I would just talk to them, and
Yeah.
I came on, and people are coming from left and right, so they kinda
Yeah.
just had me talk about, how I go about Cameo and whatnot, but, yeah, it was pretty wild.
Your brand building is like mind blowing how good you are at that and how well you've done that. And like, I don't even, again, I'm not even saying it's necessarily been intentional. It's just who you are and what you're able to do. But like, I remember even when I started this channel, the amount of DMs I got from like marketing people being like, you need to capitalize on this. Like, you need a name for yourself. You need a name for your audience. You need da 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 da. And like, I loosely tried it for like a month and it just wasn't me. I don't know. I just couldn't do it. Like, I just make my videos and whatever. Like, I don't have that, but I feel like you have that. Like you are such a brand and you have like nobody else in our world could do as many cameos as you. I will stand on a mountaintop and say that because nobody else has as unique a personality and brand and delivery and whatever as you do. And like, I don't okay, is that intentional? Was it super like just like come to you naturally? Like how did you get so good at doing that to where you can do what you're doing on the platform like Cameo?
Yeah, well, thanks. I to be to be honest with you, like I like even for example, like to have a day, which
Yeah.
was is our big thing now. Like I never really thought of that as like a brand like marketing thing, and it kind of
Hmm.
just turned into it, and it's just something that I would say to where I just kind of ran with it. Um, and then even the cameo thing, it's just something that like I'll think about a little bit of how to bring people in and whatnot, but like I don't. It's kind of just comes naturally. I got a lot of energy. I
Hmm.
I really do. I got a lot of energy towards what I'm doing, and like yeah, it kind of has just happened naturally without me even like thinking, okay, this is what I got to do, and then I see that it's working, and then I just keep feeding to it and just hope for the best.
It's a natural talent, man. I love it. I
Thank
love
you. I
it.
appreciate that, brother.
Are you taking like a bunch of golf lessons right now? Because I feel like your golf swing has gotten a lot better recently.
You know what? It's funny. We had a trip and I think we were in Florida or whatever, and I was a mess. I couldn't, and it's gotten to the point, Nate, where it's like you play so much golf. It's like
Uh-huh.
eventually, I had a bit of a grace period because I was somewhat new to the game.
Uh-huh.
The grace period was over, so finally we were in Jupiter, and I had played so bad, we were filming with the Busted Jack guys, and Mad Jack was next to me at the tee box before we teed off at the driving range. He was at the stall next to me, and I teed up a driver, and I was just hitting the ball so bad, and I skied one, and I almost hit him sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I was like, you know what? That's it. Like, I got to go get lessons. So
Yeah.
after the trip, I went and I got 2 lessons, and it really, really helped me out to where,
Hmm.
yeah, I've been playing better golf. I feel better over the ball, and at least I was learning everything that I was doing wrong.
Hmm.
But it's such a grind, man.
Yeah. Is there a part of you, and this might be a funny question, but like, is there a part of you that's like, I can't get too good at golf because it's bad for the brand?
All the time. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
all the time. Especially Joe, because I hate to say
Yeah.
it, but when he blows up on a
Yeah.
course, it is
Yeah.
the most like,
Yeah.
and the thing with Joe is like we could have a video that's not that we don't think is going too well and doesn't have much, and the next
Yeah.
thing you know, Joe triple bogeys and
Yeah.
the video pops off because watching him blow up on a golf course, and it's not just for the camera. That's the way that he
Yeah.
is. Even when we're not filming, we'll go to like a country club that a guest will take us out, and he doesn't tone it down. I mean,
Yeah.
he will blow up even when the camera's not rolling. It's the most entertaining, fascinating thing. So, of course, I think all the time. Maybe it's not good if we get good. And right now, I don't really have anything to worry about
Yep.
on that front. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you guys just all of a sudden became like single digit handicappers or scratch golfers, it might be a little weird, but yeah, I know. I mean, do you have like some like sadistic like puppet master tricks with Joey where you can just like press a button if you think a video is going poorly and you know it'll set him off?
I definitely know. I've known him for so long now that I know what can get into his head, and he knows how to push my buttons too. He can do it
Yeah,
right back to me. So
yeah,
yeah, we know each other so well now that we know how to press each other's buttons for sure.
yeah. That's funny, man. Is it like how fun is the game of golf still for you though? Like not the recording part of it, but like you said, like you're trying to get better, but then you're like, oh, I can't get too good, and like, oh, but it affects the brand. Like, has it made golf less fun for you, or do you still like enjoy going out and playing just as much?
No, I still enjoy it so much. Like even when we're not filming, I'm always I was just playing yesterday. I always go out
Mhm.
and play. My favorite thing to do is with the guys is even off cameras. I love the twilight times to
Yeah,
where I
yeah,
love when the sun's coming down and I'm with the boys. I love walking the course, getting some
hmm,
exercise in. It's my favorite thing to do. To where I still love it so much. But I will say it's like you do want to play good golf because like everybody knows the better you're playing, the more fun it is. I mean, if you're
hmm,
just hitting hosel rockets left and right,
hmm,
it's hard to stay as up. And I'm a pretty upbeat guy, so I don't let it
hmm.
really get to me. But it's so much more fun if you're playing well. So you always want to play well, but regardless, I don't really get to it. And I love off camera. We've been talking about with the Bob Does Sports guys, especially too for like Jet and Ticket who don't get to play as much. Like we want to do a trip where we're not even filming and it's
Hmm.
just us going out and hanging out. So we've been looking into that, and I think that would be so much fun just to do like a weekend with them and all just play just to play.
Nice. Are you able to tell me what happened with the Paige Spranic collab? I don't know how to say her last name. What did you guys do? Was it like a YouTube video or?
Yeah, so we did 2 videos with her, and she's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
no, she doesn't. She definitely has put stuff on YouTube, but not like a ton of stuff out
No.
on YouTube. Of course, you see the Instagram and whatnot. So I think people will be curious to see kind of what she's like in that element. But I'm telling you, man, I can't say enough good things about her. She's witty, she's quick, and I
Hmm.
shared the cart with her, and we had a blast. So
Hmm.
yeah, you'll see what's to come with that. But 2 different videos with her, and then we hope to keep doing videos with her. I think it'll do well. But I was not only is she a great golfer, she's quick, man.
Yeah.
She'll take some stabs at you, and we love that.
Yeah. 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 Do you guys have like a dream golf? I'm sure you've been asked this many times, but like a dream golf collab, like someone to bring onto the channel to.
Dude, you put a video out on it. The spitting chiclet guys,
Hmm.
I think their chirping is hockey guys, they're different, man. They really are. Yeah, it's such a different type of
Yeah.
just riffing and wittiness
Bobby
and they
Billions,
sure
man. Bobby Nine Figures. That's why I came out with
uh
that. I started with it. I had to let it go just a
worst.
little bit.
The worst. I'm never the guys are never gonna let me live that down. And again, I told them I was like, if one of you guys dropped the ball like that,
Yeah.
I'd be all over you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, man, the spitting chiclet guys would be unbelievable.
Yeah, they're. I mean, they have what guys. You guys would compliment each other so well. They would be like unbelievable, and they're so underrated. Like when I made that video you're talking about, where I basically said that if you and Spring was collab to be the best YouTube golf video of all time, a bunch of people messaged me after being like, "Oh, I just went and watched their sandbaggers for the first time, and they're like so good." Because it's like crazy. Like they get a bunch of views on those videos, but I don't think any of them are from the YouTube golf community. It's all from
Yeah.
like hockey fans and whatever. Because it's like they're a hockey podcast, they're playing with hockey players, so it's a bunch of people who aren't in the YouTube golf community. So I also think in terms of like for you guys, if you did a collab with them and if you participate in a sandbagger, the transfer of fans to you guys, like that would be bigger than a Shields collab. That'd be bigger than a good collab because it's not taking fans from the YouTube golf community. You'd be bringing fans into the YouTube golf community.
Yeah, I think what they do is amazing, and they have so much other stuff going on
Mhm.
that they don't. It's not like they put a golf video out every week. It's kind of
No.
something that seems like they almost just do either for fun or when they have time. And
Mhm.
man, when they do put something out, I love it. I think
Oh,
they are just terrific.
yeah. It's like one of the only ones where it's like I'll like carve out an evening, like sit down with like a drink and like fucking snacks and just like I'm watching this whole thing start to finish without interrupting it. Like there's very
So
few things I'll do that for, you know?
yeah, and Biz and Wit, they feed off each other so well, man.
Yeah.
They are just awesome.
Yeah. I think DJ Khaled would be another cool one for you. That guy's big into golf. I think that'd be
I
something crazy.
I think about that all the time, but I just think that guy's on such a different stratosphere than us. He's on such another level that I would take him any day of the week. I
Yeah.
don't know if we're big enough to get him, but we'll
Yeah.
try, that's for sure.
I think you guys have the best ability to get guests like that though, because it's like you're you're the most I think I mean Good's brand is the most recognizable I think still, but like you guys in terms of like personalities and like whatever, like I feel like you'd have a really good shot, and you're of the same like age demographic. You're not like 21, so like it'd make a. I think if he was going to go on any YouTube channel, I think it'd be yours for sure in a golf world. That'd
Oh,
be my guess.
that would be an absolute dream. I think something that's been really cool to see, and maybe most so like when Keegan came on is to a degree, and not that they need it by any means, but to see it help these guys to come on the show, like that we can help them with
Hmm.
our fan base. Like I know Keegan, when he came on the show, now he goes out on the course and he's got fans and have a day hats following him and whatnot. So like to be able to do that for me is really cool. And again, it's not like they need it by any means. They're
Hmm.
already stars on their own right, but like that's cool to be able to, I guess, provide a little bit of lift and more of a fan base to where they come on. Like we want them to look good. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? We really do. We want them to be happy that they came on. So anytime that does happen, it's definitely rewarding for sure.
Dude, speaking of your guy Keegan Bradley, when we hopped on here, he was tied for the lead, 16 under.
He's rolling, baby.
Day three of the Travelers. Like that guy's
He's
on a mission right
rolling.
now.
Just got to keep it up, man. But he's rolling.
Yeah, that's crazy. The Bobby Boost. He's got that Ricky Fowler putter too. Like this guy
I
looks
know
dialed right now.
that putter's hot right now,
That
huh?
putter's hot. Do you think
Amazing.
do you think you could get one at Callaway if you really wanted one? Apparently they're sold out everywhere right now.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, I saw on eBay. Somebody posted on eBay like that putter when Wyndham Clark was making his
Yeah.
run was going for like $1,700 or something on eBay.
Holy crap.
It's amazing what that does.
Is it nice having a club deal now? I feel like the free balls must just be the best part of that whole thing.
I know. I always say like when we were signing with Callaway, Perez was asking all about these different shafts and this and that, and me and Joe just wanted to know about the balls. Like we
Yeah.
couldn't wrap our head around that, but yeah, it's the coolest thing, and Callaway has been just awesome to us. So yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't realize until it really happened, like just how neat that is and how
Hmm.
cool, and I really really love it.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. You guys are killing it. I've held you on here for like an hour, so I'll let you go. I appreciate you coming on and
Appreciate
chatting, man. It's always like you said, you're always like, well, they don't need us for anything, but we're always impressed when people like you and Rick and Garrett and I meet you guys and whatever. It always blows my mind too because I know you don't need me, but the fact that you're saying you appreciate what I do is crazy. So I
Bro,
appreciate you coming on and taking the time. It's huge.
You do a lot for us, man, and we really, really appreciate it. And you get the word out about all these channels. And yeah, I hope you know how much we appreciate it. And thanks for having me on, brother. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.